It's official, there are too many iOS games. It doesn't matter who you are, it's getting harder and harder to find good games amongst all the junk, so in this video I decided to round up 25 of my all-time favorite iOS titles. These are the games that I recommend, some of them are older, some of them are newer, but all of them are really fun. Just remember, this is my opinion, so if your favorite game isn't on this list, don't be worried, just let me know what it is in the comments below, and maybe I'll update this video sometime in the future. So with that said, let's get started. Number 25 on this list is Asphalt 8 Airborne, which is one of the very best mobile racing games ever. It delivers insanely fast racing action with glossy licensed cars, great multipath tracks, and loads of ramps that send you soaring across gaps into opponents. Online multiplayer is great, and there's also plenty of single player content. Plus, now that it's available for free, you really shouldn't pass this up. Coming in at number 24 is Bastion, a well-designed RPG that puts you in the shoes of the Kid, a young hero making its way through the wreckage of the mysterious calamity. The hand-painted environments in this game are really amazing, but it's actually the active vocal narration that ultimately makes the strongest impression. Number 23 is Cut the Rope, an enduring iOS favorite. The devious, physics-based puzzles are tricky but not overwhelming, and with 375 total levels now, this is an amazing deal. Whether you're slicing strings to guide a piece of candy to the monster, or navigating odd portals and other obstacles in the more advanced stages, Cut the Rope is still a great choice for your iPhone or iPad. Number 22 is the underrated Duet Game, where you control two dots on either side of a circle, and you tap to rotate them in one direction or the other. Basically, you'll need to navigate through obstacles and survive for as long as possible. It gets insanely difficult, but it always maintains a zen sensation thanks to mesmerizing tunes and simple visuals. Number 21 on this list is Groove Coaster, which is sort of like the mobile equivalent of Guitar Hero. In this game, you follow a winding roller coaster pathway through dazzling worlds while tapping the beats that appear in time with your original tracks. It's surprisingly fun, and it's different from almost any other rhythm game I've played. Coming in at number 20 is Plants vs. Zombies 2, which is a fun and simple tower defense game where you fight zombies throughout different time periods like Ancient Egypt, the Wild West, and the Dark Ages. With varying enemies and a bevy of interesting plants to counter them, Plants vs. Zombies 2 is an original take on tower defense that's easy to get into and hard to put down. Number 19 on this is Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is the sequel to one of the very most popular recent horror games. Basically, you're taking on the role of a night shift security guard in a Chuck E. Cheese type restaurant where the robots are possessed and out for blood. This game has a lot of jump scares, especially since you don't even get doors to defend yourself this time round. Number 18 is Super Hexagon, a game with a very simple goal, keeping the tiny arrow on your screen from touching the maze-like walls of each stage as they converge in the center. It's insanely hard to do well at, but Super Hexagon is really addicting once you get the hang of it. Number 17 is Clash of Clans, a game that I'm sure you've already heard of. All you do in this game is build a village and train troops to fight for you, but it's also really hard to put this game down once you started playing it. Your village is constantly growing and is also constantly under attack by other players, so you really never want to leave. It's a little bit like Civilization for iOS, which is definitely a good thing. Coming in at number 16 is Tiny Wings, which basically gives you control of a tiny bird that you guide through hilly trails and try to get as far as possible. Whether you play it to relax or to beat your last score, it's definitely an elegant title that is sure to delight your senses. Now, while I'm talking about birds, I have to mention an Angry Birds title, so in number 15 is Angry Birds Seasons. This game still stands the test of time as one of the best physics puzzle games currently available for your iOS device, even beating out Angry Birds Star Wars in my opinion. You have to aim carefully while using each bird's special abilities as well as possible. This game never gets old no matter how often you replay a level to improve your score. Number 14 on this list is Jetpack Joyride, which is one of the very funniest endless runners available for iOS. This game takes place in an endless, side-scrolling underground laboratory and features various traps and enemies to dodge and coins to collect. This game can get surprisingly addictive and competitive, as you'll often want to break your past record and get to the top of the leaderboards. Number 13 is probably the best tower defense title for iOS. It's Kingdom Rush, a cartoonish looking game that allows you to place and upgrade enemy slaying towers with the tap of a finger. You'll have to use limited resources to buy and enhance the arrow flinging and bomb tossing towers, all in an effort to protect your base. It's honestly an absolute blast. Another game that's really simple to learn and fun to play is Peggle Classic, which is coming in at number 12. There's nothing like hitting that last glowing orange peg and watching the ball crawl through the air in slow motion, finally sinking into a score bucket while Ode to Joy blares from the speaker. Peggle Classic gives you hours of gameplay, and you can get dozens more levels for just $1. Number 11 on this list is Rayman Fiesta Run, which has established itself as one of the very best iOS platform games. You tap to leap, attack, and glide through the air, and you'll need impeccable timing to tackle some of the more challenging stages. Everything looks amazing, and there's a ton of content to explore, so you should definitely pick this up. If you're looking for a slightly less cheerful game, The Room 2 is a great choice. This is a puzzle game where you study and manipulate a 3D object in order to unlock new portions of it and uncover an overarching mystery. The touch interface of the iPhone complements the gameplay well, effectively fading into the background and allowing you to fully focus on the gameplay. Plus, as an added bonus, the soundtrack is amazing. Now, number 9 on this list is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which is a must-have for any GTA fan. This game has a ton of content, and while it isn't the best fit for such screens, it's really fun to play once you get used to it. If you've played a console version of Grand Theft Auto, and you do have an accessory for your phone that can be used as a controller, you'll be amazed at how well this plays. Coming in at number 8 is Infinity Blade 3, which is proof of how far developers can push current technology to create a game that looks stunning and plays just as well. As an action game, you'll have to swipe your screen to attack enemies with your sword, or stab with them with the different weapons in your inventory. I can promise you that this is really exciting to play and to watch unfold. Number 7 on this list is Threes, a brilliantly designed number puzzler that has you adding compatible tiles together to continue generating larger numbers. Colored 1 and 2 tiles add up to 3, but multiples of 3 only merge with each other, and each swipe moves everything on the board, making for some unexpected madness. It's methodical, challenging, and definitely worthy of obsession. Coming in at number 6 is Device 6, which is a gripping spy adventure that puts the display to great use by making its words dance around the frame. The blend of writing and visuals makes for a very compelling quest, and honestly, this would have been a great story in any format, but it soars as an interactive experience. Now, number 5 on this list is Plague Inc., an unusual strategy game that gives you the job of mutating a disease in an effort to wipe out all of humanity. It's surprisingly fun, since you have to keep your disease under the radar while ensuring that it's as deadly as possible. Another really fun game is Hearthstone, which is coming in at number 4 on this list. This digital collectible card battler will conquer your life if you happen to finally experience it. Blizzard Entertainment has made the simple mechanics of this game easy to wrap your head around, plus the close attention to detail in each World of Warcraft inspired card is noteworthy. This is a PC hit already, and it's an even more incredible card game to delve into on mobile platforms. Now, number 3 on this list is a really fun game that happens to actually be an iOS exclusive. Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas is a game that's as close to Nintendo's Legend of Zelda as you'll find on any non-Nintendo system. This game has an interesting storyline, engaging gameplay, and a really good soundtrack, so it might just convince you that iOS is your preferred mobile platform. Coming in at number 2 on this list is Monument Valley, a uniquely designed puzzle game that's surprisingly fun. Every stage in this game is an optical illusion that puts your perception to the test. When you figure out a puzzle, you'll definitely experience that ever-elusive aha moment that all puzzle games strive for. Take a walk through Monument Valley, and you'll agree that this is one special game. But anyways, that brings us to number 1 on this list, so coming in at number 1 on my top 25 iOS games list is Minecraft Pocket Edition. Basically, this brings the PC and console versions of Minecraft to mobile, without sacrificing any of the addictive building gameplay that you're used to. Even though it's slightly expensive, Minecraft PE is without a doubt the best value iOS game available right now. But anyways, that's it for my top 25 iOS games list, so definitely let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Just remember, as I said earlier, these are just my opinions, so you shouldn't be worried if you thought that I left out some really great games. With that said, give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely make sure to stay tuned for my next video. See you next time.